Tell me about Good Pour.
So we are a wine and spirits marketplace, and we give back to charity with everything we sell, but we allow the customer to pick where it goes.
Where did this concept come from?
My husband and I started it in our living room in Winter Park. We saw an opportunity. We felt like there was really nowhere for females to shop particularly, and have a one-stop shop to get gifts and feel safe and, you know, have fun while doing it and just kind of be in a great environment. So we decided let's take a leap of faith and do something very, very different that doesn't exist right now.
What were you doing before this?
He comes from the wine and spirits industry. He's got over 20 years of experience, and I come from a hospitality background. So we combined the two and said, you know, let's make it experiential. Let's make it very, very, very guest-centric, but also have a lot of fun while doing it.
I love the guest-centric piece of it. Everything that I have been involved with since my career started has been human-centric. And so when you put humans in the forefront, I just feel like you can't go wrong.
I completely agree with you. And honestly, we've seen, so his mom has MS, and it, you know, the heart of it really started because he saw the MS Society do incredible things for his family in a time when they really needed it. And I moved from Argentina when I was 9 and sort of felt like I wanted to give back to a country that has done so much for me. And with that, you know, heart of the conversation, it's really been our North Star to infuse the charity component to it. But when you talk about the people, like our guests come in and they tell us, you know, what is important to them, what they care about. We work with over 200 different charities, local, national, international. And it's just amazing because they don't sit here and tell you, you know, some do tell you why they love tequila, which is great, we'll take that. But a lot of them really are telling you, you know, my mom had breast cancer and this is why it's really important to me, or, you know, I lost a child to XYZ and my uncle had Alzheimer's. So you really get to know and connect with people on such a deeper level. It's the heart of it all, really.
So you start this out of your house.
Yes.
What does that look like? I mean, this is obviously a store where people can come in and purchase drinks. Are you selling drinks out of your house? Are you throwing just alcohol parties? Like what did it look like pre-storefront?
Yeah, we really just started to spitball about everything that we felt was antiquated about the industry. You know, a lot of quote unquote liquor stores, which we don't like to call ourselves that, but like liquor stores are dumpy, they're crowded, they're not fun, like they're not educational. So we just started to think about everything that we would love as a normal person going to shop. I'm like, well, if I'm going to buy bubbles for a friend, I also want to get her a candle and I want to get her a plant, and there's just nowhere to do it. So we started to mess with the idea of like, what if we bring this concept to life? And initially, you know, your friends and family are like, that's great, we love it, we love the idea, but we wanted to get some sort of raw feedback. So we did actually the Winter Park Wine and Dine, and we didn't have a store open yet. And we still poured a sample cocktail and infused that into it, but we asked people what they pour for, which is really like what they care about. And that's when it really clicked for us. Like, it was resonating with people. They were getting emotional talking to us about what, you know, this could be like a community hub way beyond just wine and spirits.
Was that the spark that triggered that? Like, what do you pour for? Tell me more about that. Like, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was.
What was your intention behind asking that question? Was it, like, do you drink for a good cause?
I mean, yeah.
Always? Let me lay out the reasons. But like, what sparked the idea to ask that question?
We took a step back and sort of thought about what do we want to get out of this. Like, yes, wine, beer, and spirits it's a huge industry. You know, people are celebrating, they're gifting to a friend, they have an anniversary, they have weddings. Like, the reality is, like, yes, alcohol can have some taboo around it, but there's also so much good and so much, you know, fun and tradition that comes with it. But we wanted to go a little bit of a step further. So like, that wine that is at your table, you're also surrounded by people and family members. And there may be somebody there that, again, has the Alzheimer's or MS or whatever it is. And it just sort of sparked this deeper conversation as to what do you pour for? Like, what is your motivation? What is special to you? We also did a lot of research about charity at checkout, and a lot of places ask you to round up and the extra dollar and whatnot. And research shows that only about 50% of people actually give. And although they do raise a lot of money and they do great things with that, the cause may not resonate with that person, or they may not have the funds to do it. So they feel guilty. It's like an awkward interaction. So we really said, let's completely flip that on its head. Let's create software, which we had never done before, that takes it out of our profits, but people can literally pick and choose where that money is going. So we wanted to, bridge the gap between the conversation of you're doing good things and you're giving money, but like, why don't you invite the customer and the guest into that conversation and let them pick where it goes?
So I love that. Now, how do you pick the organizations?
We have a vetting process. Susan Boucher, who is our liaison with all of the charities, she has an application process, and we do vet where the money goes just to make sure we do our due diligence. But our funds are not restricted, which is very enticing to these charities and nonprofits, because they have to go through a lot of work to get funding from the government or from different organizations and grants and stuff, and it has to go somewhere very specific. So they're grateful when the funding comes from us, because we don't pick and choose where they want to designate their money. We trust them that they're going to do right by it.
When did you guys open?
We first opened our Gainesville location almost 2 years ago.
So over the last 2 years, you have now how many locations?
We have 4 locations. This is our 4th location. And then we have Naples under construction, Apopka, Lake Mary underway, and then quite a few more that we're getting franchise interest for, which we're super humbled about.
So you guys are a franchise?
Yes, we started franchising. We really set out to do one store, my husband and I, and now it's become something much bigger than ourselves. We have never marketed our franchise. We didn't initially set out to do it, but we have a lot of interest from people who want to leave a legacy to their family and do something, really unique and turnkey and be a part of the momentum. So every location that we've had open, and the ones that are in the pipeline, which is, over 20 locations, have come completely organically.
Wow. And will they have their own choice of where the money goes, or will that remain as part of the main company?
We will always let the customer pick where it goes. It's part of the model that we all share in the vision. However, we work closely with local charities. If like a franchise partner has a certain preference that they really want that charity to be a part of because they've always given to them, then we're able to get that on the platform. A lot of them also go above and beyond, and they participate in local events and different ways to get infused in the community at the local level.
Do you know how much money you've given so far since you started?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. We have what we call a pour board, which is right behind you. It's really our scoreboard of, it really tallies up how much is being given on a daily basis, and we've given over $350,000.
That's incredible. That is incredible.
Yeah, we're really proud of that.
So when someone walks into the Good Pour, what can they expect? What's going to be the consistency of every location?
We want guests to experience, have a similar experience across all of our locations. You're always going to find a tasting bar because it's sort of the heartbeat of everything. We want people to try new things, explore. We have a lot of experiential classes, so wine and cheese pairings, and every weekend we do tastings throughout all of our locations. We also have a gift bar, which is super unique, but again, also found in all of our locations, where people can build their own gift basket, which is super fun.
Do you work with the gift baskets? Do you work with local businesses and getting their products into the stores as well?
Absolutely. We have a bunch of local businesses that we work with, some brands that they would also recognize that are just more widely known. Wash and Wick is one, for example. They're a local couple that hand pours all of their candles. They're amazing. Live Trends plants. We have rifle paper. There's quite a variety of products. So yeah, and then we also bottle engrave pretty much anything for $9, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's really neat.
Yeah.
You engraved the actual glass?
Yeah, we engrave the glass.
That's amazing.
Some people just don't know if that person drinks or not, so we can still engrave normal glassware or, cutting boards or corksicle glasses, like just a variety of things. It doesn't have to be just wine and spirits.
So you talked about moving from Argentina to Orlando. What year was that?
2001.
2001. Mm-hmm. So you've been here for a minute.
Yes.
You've seen a lot that has happened over time. What was it about Orlando that kept your attention, that made it feel like this was your home?
I love Orlando so much. The move was really tough, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know any English, and it was definitely a culture change, but once I adapted, like I was 9 years old, and then, I just fell in love with the city. I think, number one, the weather, which people complain about, but I love it. I don't want snow. I don't want to, shovel my driveway. So yeah, you coming from Detroit is like, so I just love it. I think it's a very happy place. Like I know that there's, not a perfect city anywhere, but I think you have a lot of events. You have things for everybody. There's things for families. There's like a amazing food, scene over here. There's things for young couples and people. Like there's just so much to offer for a relatively small size city. I think we're so much beyond theme parks too. There's creators here. There's, again, like it's actually a very tech forward city. There's cool little neighborhoods, which is my favorite part. Like you can explore Mills and Winter Garden and like Nona, and like there's just so much to offer, so much variety, so much diversity. You can find people from all walks of life, which is super cool. Back in 2001 when I first moved here, that was not the case. And now to see the shift of how many people have moved here and have made it such a like culturally diverse hub is it's just awesome. I'm super passionate about it. I love Orlando.
Since we launched this brand in 2017, it was targeted towards helping more or less professionals, anyone who chooses Orlando to live here because they want to live in a place they don't want to escape from. How do we get them connected? Because if you're coming from somewhere, you don't have your friends, you don't have your family. And so we wanted to focus on what we believe is the greatest asset for Orlando, which is the people. I also think that if you were to kind of identify our culture in a way, it's one, the diversity of what we have of the people is like top. Mm-hmm. But then what is the culture? What is that feeling of identity? And I feel like it's experiences. Experiences is what people, even people outside of our state or outside of our city they come to for experiences, right? And that technology that you talked about, the innovation that we have that's building here, most of the time you get like, your grandparents are like, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do this. But then they come here and they immerse themselves into technologically innovative experiences and they don't have to know anything about it. So experiences has been it. But then you have the culture too. We have such a great art scene. We have events that go on. We have people that are creating spaces like this one where they're opening their doors and saying, hey, I want to be a part of Orlando's story. And I think we talked about this a little earlier. We talked about the entrepreneurial spirit in Orlando. If you can't find your people, the people here create the communities for those people. And it's like, hey, I don't know, where do I go to meet this? If it doesn't exist, people are very proactive on being here. So what is it like that you see about the humans of Orlando, the diversity of the people? Like what stands out the most to you?
I think at least the people that I interact with, they're very open-minded. In a great way. Like you said, they want to experience new things. They want to be out and about. They want to be a part of a community, whatever that looks like for them. And I think the cool part about it is that in a world where we're very divided and there's a lot of bad stuff going on, Orlando brings people together. And it's what we call ourselves too, is like always bringing people together for, a greater good. And I think Orlando just has that platform, you know, and the humans just make it even better than that. Like they really deepen that connection. And like you said, whatever you're into, like it's probably here, you know? So I think that there's not a ton of judgment in terms of like what you love. If you love the theme parks, that's there for you. If you love to create and you love art, you love murals, or you love craft beer, or you know, whatever it is, like there's something that's here that's gonna accept you and gonna bring you into a community of other people.
As someone who is a participator in shaping the culture here, how do you define the Orlando life?
Gosh, that's a great question. I think it's uplifting, you know, like I said, in a world where there's just a lot going on. I think Orlando can find so many ways to lift you up, and the people in it. And the reality is, as a local business owner, like people coming into our buildings and supporting the good poor is what keeps us alive, and it is able, you know, allows us to give more and do more and expand and grow and make Orlando that staple. Without them, we're not here. You know, if the minute they choose to turn left instead of right and support a chain instead of us, it's the people who choose to come here, and the other local businesses that they support is what lifts us up. And I think the culture is just very uplifting.